Hi everyone, this is Britton LaTulip. Welcome to the group. If you're new, my name is Britton LaTulip. I'm the author of the Art of Raising Children for Greatness series, which is going to have 5 books. Right now we have 2 out and we have 1 more coming soon. The first book was Revealing School. The last book that we wrote was Education. And then we have Character coming. So we're going to start talking more and more about developing your children's character for greatness. And hopefully you guys saw the cover of the book. I designed that myself. It should be down below this video. I just posted it the other day. I want to show you the cover and it kind of give you the theme of like what this is about. So much when it comes to character training, we think of kind of niceness training and tolerance and the anti-bullying stuff that's going on in the schools. And we basically just teach our kids to be nice. Nice is good. Kind is good. But that's not great character. That's not enough. There's a whole bunch of Christian virtues. We want our kids to have all of them. And they need to be trained and taken seriously, all of them. And I love the cover of the book. It's pretty simple. It's not some big heroic scene, but really embodies what this movement is about. You have this little girl there. She appears little, sweet, innocent, simple even. And then behind her, you see this huge lion. And that lion represents the character that's inside of her. So, and the lion is the official universal emblem of regal character. So we're going to talk about that today. Well, I talk about the Lion's Touch. And the Lion's Touch is actually a poem that's in the book. It's kind of like an introduction. It's the dedication. I dedicated this book to my daughter, Emma, because she is that little girl. She's this tiny, sweet little girl. But inside her is this lion of character. And I don't just mean that she's ferocious. I just mean that she has great character. A full spectrum, very impressive character. So the Lion's Touch. So I'm going to read this poem to you, hopefully to get you a little bit excited about this book that's coming out. The book is done. I just ordered the proofs. The proofs are coming. So I'm going to get the physical proofs, make sure that everything's good with the cover and the print job and everything. And then we're going to start bringing this book out. We'll have a release date for you. So here's the Lion's Touch. Then we're going to talk about a little bit more about the lion's character and what we want our kids to know about lions and why lions are so significant in this talk. So this poem, which is written by me, is dedicated to my daughter, Emma. The Lion's Touch. A little girl stands, yet a lion lives inside. Her father put the lion there, and her mother helped it grow. True, she's pretty short and thin. She's got a baby's chin, a little dimpled grin, and rosy soft skin. But her soft skin lies. Just look into her eyes. She's a lion in disguise. You see, her character is such that she's got the lion's touch. Okay, so that was a poem. That's not really like the theme of the book necessarily. It's not all about lions, of course. Lions, they have great character in some respects that we want to introduce to our children. Of course, they don't have all the Christian character. They know nothing of mercy, of love, of hope, of joy, I guess. And yet, for thousands of years, lions have been the emblem of regal character. You have these great men, and we've accomplished these great things. We have these buildings and these technologies and all of these things. We exceed the lion, and yet they remain nature's truest king. And you have great kings, and they live in palaces, and they have all this wealth. And yet when they do something, they win a war, they do something great, they want to be called, said of them that they have a lion's heart, like Richard. So Richard goes on crusade. He wins these great battles for Christendom. Instead of saying he has a man's heart or the heart of a king, Richard, or something like that, right? Something about humanity. He actually wants to be called the lion's heart. It's seen so regal. It's superior to our own in many ways. The lion represents the truest king. And many of the boys going back in history, like the Assyrians, to prove their manhood, they would go out and they would hunt a lion because it's seen as the greatest achievement to be able to slay the lion, to prove your manhood, because there's just something regal about lions. And we hope to be like that. We hope to have that kind of courage, that independence, that confidence, that strength that lions seem to just embody. And we talk about the truest king. Why is the lion the truest king? It's his character. He's not huge like a giant elephant. He's not beautiful like a peacock. And there are other animals that are faster than him, like the cheetah. Other animals have teeth and claws. Even the tiger isn't called a king. He doesn't have any leadership skills necessarily, the tiger. He doesn't have a big territory that he guards with his pride like the lion. The lion really has a kingdom that he protects. And he has these mortal enemies, of course, the hyenas. And it really is a territory war. He sees those hyenas. And that's what makes him a king. Like, he has the desire to rule. Unlike the tiger, I mean, you cross a tiger, he might eat you. He probably guards some of his territory, but he doesn't have an army. He doesn't have a kingdom like the lion does. So lion is nature's truest king. Okay, you know, in introducing your children to lions, it's really important. If you go back and look at history, the kings, they would have them on their crest, their emblems. They'd have stories about lions. In fact, the lion is actually the national anthem of England, and England is just synonymous with regality in the kingdom. It's one of the last surviving kingdoms, kind of. If you know the history, I don't know that they have a true monarchy anymore, but it's still a kingdom. And it's interesting because of all the animals that they have in England, their national anthem or animal doesn't even come from their own country. It comes from Africa, and it is the African lion, because nothing competes with that in all of nature. Even in America, you know, ours is the eagle. That's kind of cool. They're like vultures. Or the bear. Even the bear, he's not a king, is he? He's ferocious. He can be ferocious, but he's not a king. He doesn't have a kingdom like the lion. So truly the lion is the most superior of all beasts. He's not like just ferocious and mindless like a shark or something that's terrifying. There's just something regal about his character that makes him great. And introducing lions to your kids, it's really important. I hope that the lion is everybody's favorite animal, especially kids, especially with this greatness mindset. There was a BBC video. I'm probably going to post it below. It's probably the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. You can learn so much from nature. I've got all sorts of lessons that come from nature. I could tell you about chickens, incredible lessons about chickens. But you watch that video, it's just a very short clip, and it's so beautiful because it just encapsulates the greatness of a lion. And I'll probably, I think I've showed it to my kids, actually. But you have this young lion, and he's going out, he's exploring his territory. He's young, he's on his own, he's inexperienced. He ends up stumbling into the hyena's territory. And even though he's a big male lion, you know, there's 20 or 30 of these hyenas, and they just start circling him. And you can see how great he is. He continues to roar. You can see there's a sense of pending doom. Like he knows he's outnumbered. He knows he's in trouble. And yet he acts so ferociously and courageously. It doesn't just lay down. He gives this fight. And but they're just circling him, and they just keep biting him. And they're like hyenas. You know, they don't come from the front because they don't have that honor and integrity like a lion. So they're always spinning around behind him, trying to bite him in the rear, and he's spinning around. But eventually he's outnumbered. He's swarmed. He's going to get killed. And you hear him roaring. But then this really amazing scene, there's another lion, his brother. And this is so good. It embodies that character, that loyalty, and that courage. His buddy, like, hears what's going on. I guess he hears the hyenas or he hears the roaring lion. His brother, like, peeks up, hears it. And then you can just see, like, he's triggered. He's not enraged. He doesn't have that rage on his face. He's not in a panic or anything like that. He's so controlled, but he starts trotting over, like, okay, I've got to deal with this. And then he just rushes into the scene and starts attacking the hyenas. No concept of, am I going to throw myself in danger? He just knows his brother's in danger, and these hyenas, they've encroached on his territory. How dare them? And between these two lions, they take on, 20 or 30 hyenas, whatever it was, and they win because now they have each other's back. And it's just amazing, these two great monarchs of the plains doing battle. So just watching lions is so cool. Introduce your kids to lions. I think it's part of the study of greatness. And so much of, like, we talk about character training in the schools, it's not about greatness. It's about kindness. It's about tolerance. It's nice, but it's very weak. So introduce your children to lions. They have so much character. One of the only Disney movies that I really like, I actually like a few of them. I like, what is it, Sleeping Beauty? Sleeping Beauty's good. It's the story of good and evil and the good prince, and he slays a dragon. I actually like that. It's almost demonic too, parts of it, which is good because it shows the evil, the nature of evil, right? Maleficent and stuff. So anyway, that's another story. That's a good one. But my favorite of all time is The Lion King. It's one of the only that I really can't find a lot of complaints with. I mean, there's a few little things in there and stuff, but it's such a great story of family and character in the bond between the father and the son and stuff. I just love that story. So it's one of the movies I'd recommend your kids watch. Let them watch it as much as they want. That's The Lion King. Put that heart of greatness in your kids. And when we talk about character training, introduce them to lions. I have other stories about animals. I have a great story about chickens. I think it's incredible. It's an incredible story of motherhood. But introducing these concepts to them, these greater character stories that they can get excited about. Even watching that BBC documentary, it's not just an interesting story about these animals or whatever. You can introduce the character. Like, notice the brother's loyalty. Notice their courage. Notice their desire to rule. Teach those things to your kids. Implant that in your kids. I appreciate that so much more than the superheroes. I keep my kids away from the superheroes. I've talked about that in the comic books and all that stuff. And I've talked about that before. I'll talk about it again someday. But study the animal kingdom. Study lions. When you start introducing your children to character and we start studying this more, of course, the next book is for you. It's on training children's character for greatness. It's just called Character, to be out very shortly. But I just want you to know, too, that Blue Manor kind of embodies that character. This is our spelling book. We call it Spell King. We thought, how can we make character or spelling interesting for kids and embody the greatness of Blue Manor and like what our mission is? And so many of the other books out there, they're just cute or they're silly or they're really academic. You know, like the geography bee kind of get like a nerdy approach and they overteach. They'll turn your kid into a spelling whiz. Sorry, not geography. Thinking something else. Spelling bee whiz, and you can spell all the words kind of nerdy. That's not what we're about. And you can see it even on the cover there, the king, the regality of it. I want them to think that this isn't just about learning to spell words and kind of being nerdy. It's about elevating yourself and becoming regal and educated and kind of embody that spirit of greatness. And then we also have other books. We talked about the importance of manners. This is Manners, Leadership, and Logic. I wrote this and illustrated a while ago. You guys can get this on Amazon or on Blue Manor Academy, but these are important. I didn't just write these as fun stories. This is our character curriculum. And so many times, if you think of character curriculum, it's boring. It's just a discussion. We try to embody that kind of like Aesop's Fables with wisdom curriculum. We try to embody that also in fables and stories that hopefully your kid will remember forever. We had a customer a while back. She said her favorite story was Winter and Wolves. This is the book of Character 3. It's such an important story. It's a story every one of your kids should read. It'll help you as a parent. And it'll really plant in your kid's mind. They'll never forget that story. So character is so important. So we do have a character curriculum. It's on Blue Manor Academy. We have 3 books of character. Each one of these has, let's say, 4 or 5 character stories in it that your kids need to know. It's part of the curriculum. You can get those on Amazon. And really start focusing on that, guys. Character training is every bit as important, if not more important, than the academic training. I see parents all the time, they're panicking, hey, what am I going to teach my kid a phonics lesson, or I need a math program, or my kid's not excited about spelling, so do you have any spelling tips or something? I hardly ever say, hey, I'm really concerned about my kid's character. Do you guys have a character curriculum? I want to teach him courage. I want him to be bold and courageous or faithful and loyal. I never see parents worrying about that. It's always the academics, and yet when it comes to greatness, character is king. It's all about the lion's touch. It's all about character. And parents should be just as concerned or more so about making sure that they have a character curriculum and that their kid, learning to read is a very easy thing, actually. It's a very easy thing to learn. Everybody gets it. But being courageous, being bold, faithful, loyal, those are harder lessons. And I think parents should take those seriously. We certainly do at Blue Manor Academy. Okay, I don't want to go long-winded like I did last week. That's it. That's the Lion's Touch. You can get that poem. It's in the book, but the book is so much more. It's 270 pages. It'll be out very, very shortly. I'm going to teach you not just how to make nice, kind, gentle children, but bold, lion-like children, greatness, regal, all of the Christian virtues, which led to the kingdoms in the Middle Ages, the great kingdoms, which embodied the great Christian virtues. That's what we want for your children. So anyway, if you guys want to get started with the character curriculum, we do have, of course, the character curriculum on Blue Manor Academy. In the digital form, we have on Blue Manor Education. You can buy the print books or you can get them on Amazon. I highly recommend it. Start focusing on character, and we'll talk to you next week. Hopefully next week I'll actually have the proof of character in my hand, and we'll start talking about how we can get that to you. Talk to you later. Bye.